Well, good morning, y'all. Chris McIntyre, almost above average after dark. But I wanted to go through, I'm actually responding to a specific comment on TikTok. I forget who left it, but the clip was basically about this movement of people leaving the MAGA party. And the comment was, ha ha ha, nobody's leaving. And that just showed to me what I see is that disconnection. Nowhere on your social media feed are you seeing any of this, or have never heard of it, even on Twitter. So let's bring awareness around that. Maybe we can give permission to some of the MAGA folks. Hey, you don't have to suck up to dear leader for the rest of your life. You don't have to. You can leave. You don't have to join the Democrats either. You can just leave. America doesn't want kings. Let's check out this video. This guy started an organization leaving MAGA. And that's Adam Kinzinger. I think he's a congressman or a senator, but he's a Republican. He's not MAGA. He's a Republican. I have a lot of respect for him. I have a lot of respect for tons of conservatives and Republicans, but the MAGA party is not that. I heard it put this way by a comedian. The conservative or Republican party is a political and ideology. The MAGA movement is a set of it's a set of morals, or it's a set of ethics. The MAGA is a set of ethics, not really an ideology. It's not really a party. It's a state of being, from my experience. I appreciate the apology. I think that shows of a reckoning, like done some real deep searching within himself and then realized it. And I think that's going to be the case for everyone in the MAGA party if they do the work to just be like, all right, let's break down what he's saying, and then let's see if what he said actually happened. And what I think you'll find is Donald Trump says a bunch of shit and doesn't do any of it. And he only says it to get his way, like a child would, right? They go right back into attacking each other. So there's no unity within the MAGA party. As soon as someone does something that against dear leader, he gets exercised from the party. He gets removed and shunned, and then threatened to get primaried against. So, but they found that based around their collective hate, in my view. Like, so if you're going to build something around hate or something negative, that's going to affect everyone in the party, and that's going to be like the flu. It's going to spread. It's contagious. That covers a lot of ground. I mean, how many MAGA people do you know that is what they are? When they're at work, they're MAGA. When they're at home, they're MAGA. Like, almost like they make it a point, like they want you to see the hat because they know it makes you mad, and they derive joy from pissing other people off. And that is the core of the MAGA movement. It's this disdain for another person, which, when you boil it down, it's fear, it's hate. And there are a lot of people like that in the country that didn't support January 6th but are still MAGA. And then when you ask them about how are you okay with them killing cops, they can't defend that. They're like, they didn't mean to. They get all fumbly when they start trying to explain it, because you can't explain that. So you're okay with them breaking into the Capitol and killing police officers? Well, no. And that answer should be fuck no. And it should be quick, and it should be delivered without hesitation. But every time you talk about January 6th or the cops dying there, it's always they can't explain it, and they don't want to admit it, and it's sad because you see them just kind of lock up, and they're like, well, it was, and then they kind of fade off into the background and wander away. That's how every conversation goes. And there are still people saying that. I don't hear it as much anymore on social media, but there are still some of the COVID vaccine deniers that are living in the world. And I got the COVID vaccine. I got the boosters. I think I'm okay. But there's something within the entire mindset of the MAGA movement. It's just like, stay so cynical, and they won't believe anything that you tell them or show them. Like, they can see truth in front of them, and they won't be able to say it out loud because of a deep embarrassment if they violate their loyalty to the dear leader. That's the secret right there. He made a conscious decision after realizing, hey, I'm in an echo bubble. I'm only getting one side of the information, one side of the story. So that he's showing the example of how everyone's going to have to come to this realization, or they just won't, right? Because as he started getting new information, he was able to make a better decision. But if you're not letting that better information in, or if you're not actively seeking it out, especially nowadays with the algorithms on social media, 100%, we're all in an echo bubble. So unless you actively seek out opposing opinions, all you're going to get is shit to reinforce your own ideology. That is all of our social media feeds. So you have to be intentional about seeking it out. I have to search up creators that I disagree with just so I can make sure I have their opinion on my brain. I want to know. It's not like I don't think the Democratic Party is better than the MAGA Party. That's not true. I totally do. But let's watch another one. That's an interesting video. I'm cool. I'm glad that someone started. Let's watch another one. Oh, it's the same guy. Nice. Oh, that's the same guy. Nice. Yo, guys, follow this guy, or follow the Midas Touch Network. He's given instructions on how to leave MAGA, man. Brave. That's brave. And that's what it takes. You have to come to a realization within yourself, like, hey, I think he's lying. Household name, celebrity, popularity. I'll say the same thing. Throughout my childhood and regular before he ever ran for office, my opinion of Donald Trump was I kind of looked up to him as, he's a businessman. All the things that it has been proven that he's not. But the way he presented that for so long, that's what our whole country believed it, and that's what it sounds like everyone went for. But when he got in to run for office, part of me was like, I might vote for him. And then I heard him start talking, and he started talking about immigrants, and then like, oh hell no, like that isn't in. So that's where I broke. Like I looked up to him until that point, until I had more information. In Fox News. So Fox News basically runs our government. It's all propaganda. Fox News is 100% propaganda at this point. I remember that started a lot of shit when it did happen, and I hated that. Everything that he has always done has always been racist. There's always a racist trope in there, like banning all the people from Muslims, and he hasn't changed. That was his first term, and now we're in a second term, and now it's everybody brown, unless you're white from South Africa, you can come to our country. Because there's a genocide? There isn't. Yeah, you got caught up in the fear of the right-wing media bubble. That has been their play since the 70s. This has been an active campaign. I want to actually look at that website, leavingmaga.org. Sorry, guys. Let's take a little detour. I do. I do want to help someone, and I do want your newsletter. Send my free guide now. Let's not do that. It's pretty cool. Let's just go through this. Dear MAGA Americans, I was a devoted member of MAGA Nation for 7 years. It made me feel I was part of something important, a movement that was trying to save American democracy. But starting in 2021, I realized I had been mistaken. It took me a full year to finally break away. During that time, I came to understand that MAGA is sustained by a series of myths that are intended to create perpetual feelings of desperation and panic, fear. Succumbing to these predatory myths does not mean you are unintelligent, weak, or lack good character and morals. I have a bachelor's degree and have been working professionally my entire life. I'm a family man and consider myself a relatively honest and intelligent person. I think the same about you. This is not me saying it, guys. This is from the Leaving MAGA website. Succumbing to these predatory myths does not mean you are unintelligent, weak, or lack good character and morals. Oh, I already read that. I understand the reasons that you have for supporting MAGA, and I know many of us traveled different paths to get there. I gravitated to Donald Trump because I have always been suspicious of our two-party system and saw him as the right man at the right time. So there is something to that. He targets people that are already cynical. Donald Trump. I have a sense that some of you have quietly left MAGA already, or are increasingly regretful, confused, and scared. All of this can be doubly upsetting since some of your sincerely held beliefs may have alienated you from friends and family. That certainly happened to me. That's totally true, right? And that sucks. It's kind of like, we have both friends and family members on both sides of the political spectrum. But what it causes in our country, there's conversations that you just don't have around family. Like I'm afraid to bring up, how passionate I am. deportations right now because some Americans actually like the deportations. I can't understand that at all. But to each his own. It is perfectly okay to feel this way. Leaving MAGA was a tumultuous roller coaster of a process for me. It may be one of the most difficult endeavors you embark upon. In the end, it brought me an inner peace and a newfound clarity about what is happening in our beloved country. I founded this organization, Leaving MAGA, because I wanted to create a safe, non-judgmental community for those who leave MAGA, as well as for those who are having doubts about or remorse over their devotion to Trump and MAGA. Our Leaving MAGA community will celebrate how acknowledging mistakes empowers you and America. It's difficult for a democracy to function well when millions are estranged from those closest to them. You do not deserve to have your anxieties about change exploited. You deserve to know the truth. And with Leaving MAGA, you don't have to feel you would be alone if you leave the movement. Leaving MAGA is possible. Recognizing that we were wrong and acting on that knowledge makes us all more invested in democracy and in the continued work of perfecting our nation. Sincerely and humbly yours, Rich. What a cool story. I'm going to leave it there, but I just wanted to jump on here and kind of respond to that. Nobody's leaving MAGA. That just shows me that you're in a bubble and you haven't done the work to look outside and get some other opinions. And no one, I don't fault you for that. I can't fault you for not knowing something. But now that you know that you don't know, it's up to you to learn more and make a better decision. Anyway, I'm Chris McIntyre, almost above average. Hit subscribe, and we'll see you in the comments.